So I was at Universal the other day and it was a challenging day. And one of the things I thought to myself is, you need to go home and make this video about the 10 things I'll never do at Universal Orlando again. Number 1 is use the single rider line on Hagrid. I got to Hagrid thinking, you know what? That wait time says 120 minutes. I'm not waiting that because I'm a single rider. So I said, let me just go in the single rider line, and let me tell you, that single rider line does not move. I think I waited more than 2 hours in a single rider line, and at one point I just had to stay. I was committed. I was in the line. I was committed. I could see the end, but it was still so far away because the line doesn't move. And I think one of the things that I have to tell you about being a single rider at Universal is that if there are rides that have 2-seaters, mostly roller coasters like Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket or Hagrid or Velocicoaster, if the wait time for that ride is more than like 40 minutes, you might as well just get into the regular queue, especially Velocicoaster, because if you see that line reaching the front of the entrance to the queue, then just go to the regular line, because the single rider line on Velocicoaster is kind of slow. Not as slow as Hagrid, and you're going to spend more time in the single rider line than you would in a regular queue if the queue gets to like 40 minutes. I learned the lesson the hard way, and I was so frustrated with myself because I should know better. I go to Universal all the time, and I waited in that single rider line longer than the people in the queue. You want to know how I know? Because they got on the roller coaster before me. I saw them and I still had about 20 minutes left. I was so mad that day. So don't do that same mistake. The next thing that I will never do at Universal is get on the Fast and the Furious Supercharged ride. I know I shouldn't say these kind of things because it is a legit attraction at Universal, but that ride is more than just it not being something that looks that good in person. It hurts. If you've ever sat on that hard behind bus and it goes up and down and it's bouncing, you're like basically hitting your back up against that bus. I don't like it. It's uncomfortable. But you know what I do like? I like the queue and the pre-show. That's pretty much it. So if I could do those 2 things and then you just get me to the gift shop, I'll be happy. The next thing I'm not going to do at Universal Orlando again is get that Ocean Attack, the AKA the Shark Attack drink that you see on social media all the time with, Universal team members doing the Shark Attack thing, and then they pour some sweet syrup on top of your drink. Now, I love colorful drinks because they look really good on social media, but I cannot do this drink. It is so sweet. Now imagine, I just got off of Fast and Furious on a bumpy ride. I have a headache, and then I go get this drink, and yeah, it just made it a whole lot worse. It has coconut rum, which is probably something I'm just not a fan of. A little bit of Sprite, pineapple juice, and that dash of grenadine at the top to top off your drink. Now for me, I like it more as a photo op, but I'm not gonna drink it. I just can't. It's straight up sugar, and I'm sorry, I feel so bad making this video saying these things, but that's just not my thing, and I am never ever getting that drink again at Universal Orlando. Now don't get me for this one, but the next thing I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna ride the Simpsons ride in Springfield at Universal Studios. I love the Simpsons. I grew up watching the Simpsons, and when the ride first came out, it looked really good, but now the film is starting to age, and I'm just not really wanting to wait for it any amount of time. I love the storyline that they're going to Krustyland. It's a great storyline. I just want it to be updated. I mean, if you go in there and look at that film, it looks like some early 2000s stuff. Other than that, I just wish that it was updated. I love the queue. It is one of my highlights. It's very simple, very basic, but it's still reminiscent of old school Universal Studios Florida with a new flair. I also like the pre-show where you're waiting in this little room right before you board. Is funny. Krusty the Clown is hilarious. I love that kind of stuff. I just don't like the actual ride, which is sad because it's a great franchise and I wish that it got more love and care at Universal. Now don't get at me for this one, but the next thing I'm never doing at Universal Orlando again is dining at Cowfish. That is the restaurant that combines sushi and burgers, and it's a weird combination. I know it sounds bad, but it's not necessarily the combination. It's just each time I go there, the food is not that good. It is subpar. And my last straw was when I went on a solo trip and I had a solo date there and I was dining. One, I had a reservation and they didn't really want me to sit at a table, even though I made a reservation like I was supposed to. And then when I did sit down, I didn't really see my server. He kind of looked like he was out of it. And it just wasn't a good experience. And on top of that, I ordered a lot of sushi because I wanted to give you guys a really good review on it over on ThemeParkHipster.com. But the sushi was so bad. And I'm not trying to say that I'm a sushi snob. I do like to try all the sushi spots here in Orlando, but I've never been to a place where I just could not eat the sushi. And I've never had sushi that it just had like no care, no flavor. And I'm not trying to knock anyone, but I was very upset that day. It's one thing to have a day that's off with your food, but to have a day that's off with your food and the customer service was terrible. I'm just not dining at Cowfish. There are plenty of better options in Orlando for sushi. Now, this is something very important that I'm never gonna do again, is that I'm never gonna go to Universal and want to eat at a restaurant and not make my reservations in advance. I see a lot of people make this mistake over and over. I see them coming there to CityWalk on a Friday night, Saturday night, or leaving Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure to go to a restaurant in CityWalk and walk up and they're like, well, it's gonna be a 2-hour wait, or well, we don't have any spots right now. Did you make a reservation? And everybody's like, a reservation? I thought that was a Disney thing. It's a Universal thing. Not only do you need to make a reservation for the CityWalk restaurants, but you should also make a reservation for the restaurants inside of the parks, like Mythos over in Islands of Adventure, the Lombard Seafood restaurant over in Universal Studios, and the Irish Pub over in Universal Studios. Those are places that you're going to want to make a reservation for, and you're just going to be ahead of the game, especially at that lunchtime dinner rush. You're going to see people walking up, can't get in, and you're going to walk up like a seasoned pro and say, hey, I have a reservation. Thank you, Nikki J. So make sure you do that on your trip. Now, this next thing that I'm going to talk about falls in a similar path as the not making reservations to the restaurants, and I'm never going to go to Universal Orlando Resort without using mobile ordering. Now, mobile ordering is a feature that Universal has on their app that allows you to order your food ahead of time, pay for it, tell the people you're there, pick it up, and be out. The one thing I hate sometimes is just not having my food when I'm hungry. And that mobile ordering helps you skip the line. You can even use it at places like Voodoo Donuts, where you know at the close of park, that line is so long. So while you're in the park and you're about to walk out, order your food, say I'm here. By the time you get up to the kiosk, your order is ready. You're sitting down enjoying your donuts while everybody is staring at you, hating from the side. Now, the next thing I'm never gonna do at Universal Orlando is skip the garage sale. And in case you don't know, around November of every year, usually the first or second week of November, Universal has a garage sale, and I mean a legit garage sale, where they take many of their items that did not sell or they have an overstock at the parks and put it in this place with price reductions of 50 to 80% off. It is an amazing time to go pick up all of your favorite Harry Potter, Minions, Spider-Man, Universal merchandise that you didn't get throughout the year, and go get it for a discount. I got this shirt one year from a haul at the garage sale, so definitely don't miss it, because you're never gonna catch me missing that garage sale at Universal Orlando again. Now, the next thing I'm never gonna do at Universal is skip Mardi Gras. And if you don't know, Mardi Gras is this big party that Universal throws each year to celebrate the culture of New Orleans, Caribbean, carnival type vibe. I love this just as much as I love Halloween Horror Nights at Universal. If you have never been, this is something that you absolutely have to do this year. And lucky for you, it usually starts in February sometimes and goes to April. And here you can try food from New Orleans, food from some of your favorite Caribbean countries. You can catch all the bees off of the Mardi Gras floats. You can catch some of the best artists come in, and guess what? It's all included in your theme park admission. So don't miss Mardi Gras, because I am never gonna miss Mardi Gras ever again. Now, the next thing that I will never do again at Universal Orlando is not renew my annual pass. And I know that sounds corny, but you get so much bang for your buck when you are an annual pass holder at Universal. They have exclusive merchandise. They have a pass holder lounge, discounts. And if you have the top tier, you even get free tickets to special events such as Halloween Horror Nights. And you get to skip the line at Universal after a certain time during the day. This is so incredible that I think it's something that a lot of people don't really recognize, that you need to come over to the Universal side and get that annual pass, because it comes with great benefits. And the way they treat their community is always top notch. They are there, they are listening, and they care. Now, those are the top 10 things I will never do at Universal Orlando. But I want to know, what's the one thing that you will never do at Universal Orlando? Leave it down in the comment section below. And if you're making your way out to Universal, then take a look at these top mistakes that you must avoid to make sure that you have the best vacation ever. And until next time, happy park hopping hipsters.